Daria here, and I'm just sitting down. It's the day after the full moon eclipse, and you know, I had a really not feeling good at all on Saturday, and it felt like being sick but not. And I was just, you know, kind of beside myself, and then I was like, oh right, we've got the eclipse coming up, and it's not, I don't feel what I would call ascension symptoms or the symptoms of energy all the time through these different cycles, but they really hit me hard. And then I felt great yesterday, and then today I just woke up with this feeling of possibility, like a big shift, big shift in energy. So I kind of want to do a reading for today based on post-eclipse. What does Spirit want us most to, you know, whatever messages come through right now, let's just see what Spirit most wants to bring to our attention in this time right after the eclipse. So in the center I have Lily's wisdom, maturity, and calmness. We have the desert, or departure of something or someone, and then conversations, birds, conversations and meetings. And then we have the tower here, which is about a business structure or corporation or something in regarding to rules and structures, and then a child, a new beginning. So I do feel like this is an interesting thing. It's a lot in line with what I was feeling here with the lilies, the wisdom, the maturity, and the calmness. The lilies represent things that have really been growing and developing and then blossom in our lives over time. And it's like with the cycle of this eclipse season that just finished out with that 2-week period, it brings us to a new level of this, a new level of wisdom and understanding about things in regards to the structure and the rules of things, and we have a new beginning in that. And I really do feel that as humanity, we are moving toward a totally new way of living, being, and doing, being human. And that's a lot of the point of why we incarnated at this time, is to elevate and raise up Earth's consciousness in regards to that. So I do feel like we are having a kind of a new leveling up in that regard. And the departure of something, I feel, is interesting, because it's like that's the old is going away. The old is going away to make room for something new. And sometimes, you know, we have a hard time, we're hanging on to certain things, but I feel like what that moon was doing, that this eclipse season really did for us, is another level, another round of getting us to let go of certain aspects of this that have needed to go. Conversations and meetings is interesting. I feel like it's coming up because for example, we're having this conversation right now, and you're going to have opportunities where you'll be talking to someone, and conversations about just like shifts and changes are going to come up. And your wisdom and maturity and things that came through during this time will really come up, and you being able to maybe even understand things better for yourself, because you're going to see examples of it. You're going to see where other people have come in into a place of greater, you know, I don't know, ascension really is what this is about. This is about ascension, and in regards to the structures, the rules, the way, the templates that we've lived our lives in, you know, humanity has lived their lives for a long time. So I now want to ask, that's kind of the theme about letting go of old things and new things coming in. And now I'd like to see what we can see about love partnerships. And because it does seem like I've had a number of people reaching out to me for readings. And by the way, my $33 special is still going on this week. So if you would like to have a reading, please reach out to me about that and take advantage of it while you can. I just gave someone a reading just before this, and it went about 20 minutes or more. It's hard for me to limit when I get going, but anyway, a lot of people who have been reaching out to me for readings, their questions are about divine love connections. And you know, I myself have I feel that I am really here to experience a higher way of living and being and relating in love and in partnerships and relationships is kind of like, even I would say, one of my primary like missions and like what I'm here to do. And I actually feel that that's probably the case for most people on this planet who are you know, waking up to some degree in some way to really why are we here, and wanting to have a higher level, a higher way of being and living in relationship with someone else, in love and partnerships, whether it's your friendships with your family, but especially to see that expressed in a divine love partnership. So I am going to see, for those of you who are on that journey, what kind of messages can come up in regards to this meeting. I know some people are like where are they? You know, this person, I haven't met them yet. Are they coming in? And then others are like, they've come in, but you know, where are they now? They're not in my life right now. What's going on with them? And so we're going to do a you and a them, and then we're going to do a center between the two of you here. See what's going on. And I did have that one card fall out, so I'm going to accept it. Let's see what we have. So now I'm not going to say, you know, which side is which. We're just going to look at one energy, and then here's the other. Here's one, here's the other, and then here's between the two of you. And so for one of you, what we have going on is the key, the answer, the way, the enlightenment, and the opening. And then the scythe is a quick decision, and then a fuel, acceleration after things have stalled. Now, I feel very much like all of this possibility opening up. I'm feeling like you're, if you ever go skiing, I don't know, it's wintertime, so some of you may be into skiing, if you ever have done that, skiing or snowboarding, and you get to the top, you're waiting for the chairlift, and you ride the chairlift to the top of the mountain, and then you get off the chairlift, and then you're standing at the brink of the mountain. So you've done all of this, you know, this work to get to the top of the mountain, and then from that point on, all you have to do is just like let go and let gravity take you. And I'm feeling like that's where we're at right now in the shift after this eclipse. It felt like things were just being held together, and like I saw things being set up and lined up, not only in my own life, but in others, where there's like, it's like pieces of the puzzle and things are being lined up. It's like that process of getting up to the top of the mountain. And then there you are poised for that change. And that moment of when do you just go down the hill? Like you have this moment, you're just standing there, and then you push yourself off with your poles or snowboarding. I'm not a snowboarder, but I'm using the skiing as it's what I do. And so you push yourself off with the poles, and you just start going down the hill. And that's a sudden, quick decision. When you finally have that moment, you might stand there for a moment enjoying the scenery. You're looking out over the mountains, and maybe see the lake in the distance or wherever you can see. And then you push, and that is, that's like the opportunity is there now. What did it take to get there? And then once you push yourself down, you have that acceleration, and it is fuel. Like the idea of acceleration and fuel is that something just keeps, like you have a starting point, and then it just expands from there. You go faster and faster and faster down the hill unless you slow yourself down in some way. So I feel like there's one of the two of you who's really poised for this. And it's taken a while to get there. So we're seeing this moment, which is just that point of coming down the hill, coming down the mountain and letting gravity take over. A quick decision is what is just the only thing that stands between here was the opportunity, here's the result, but it's just this quick decision is the only thing that stands in between them, you, and this, unfolding of whatever's coming next. On the other side, we have something taken away or reduced in quantity. We have migration, movement, and relocation, and we have circle, people, and things you hold dear. So somebody else is experiencing here, as we're looking here, whoever this is meant for, someone else is experiencing a reduction of people and things that they hold dear because of some kind of movement or relocation. So we have relocation happening. Let's just put it this way. There's a lot of change on both sides. On this side, I don't see that this person here is experiencing like a moving, an actual going from one place to another, except for there's just acceleration in their life. Things are happening, things are moving. But this person over here, I feel like, is truly going to be moving and relocating. There is going to be some kind of major movement, and I'm even getting this is in for a lot of divine love connections. And if you're not experiencing a divine love connection, it's harder to understand it. But for those of you who are, that a lot of times what is taking place is that one of the partners has, who is in that divine love connection, have pulled away and then gotten themselves entangled in, or maybe they were already entangled in some kind of third-party situation. And it's not that people who are in this situation are like necessarily cheating on and, you know, being that there's a cheating situation happening. It's just that you're one of the other, usually the person who's more aware of what's going on is the one that's standing back and watching, working on themselves, but they're seeing this other person has some untangling to do still. And that's what I'm seeing happening over here with this person. There is forward momentum, and of course whatever's impacting one is impacting the other. So we're seeing that this forward momentum and movement here is also like catching on over here, and there is going to be some movement, and it could be some movement that will reduce the circle of that this person is in, as far as they're, you know, they're in their life. There's going to be a movement, big change. So lots of people coming together. I also don't take this just as lots of people, but just the two people in the divine partnership that's coming, because especially this is about the two of them. So there's a coming together, a meeting. And there's one here that secrets are things that are locked and kept hidden. And then we have footprints, the impression that we will make, and how we are, how are we received. So I feel like there's a potential here for a meeting and coming together, but there are still some things that have been kept hidden, and someone or both of you are worried about how will they be received if they come together. I even feel for some of you it doesn't mean there's a coming together, but this is what is at stake in coming together, and maybe it's part of what's still being held back, because there's a concern here that some things that have been kept hidden from the other person is holding them back about coming together, because they're worried about how will we be perceived by that other person. And yet we still have momentum and movement on both sides, which is just good. It's good to see that. So I'm going to pull one more card here to see. And then we have an increase in quality or quantity. So I do think that momentum we're going to see picking up, and I do feel like this is between the two of you, and I'd like to see if it's about communication or something else. I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card on that. Regard birds. There we go. Birds, communication, conversations, and meetings. Okay, so we do see that in spite of, here's what's been holding it back is the secrets, and then worried about how that's going to be. But there's going to be an increase in the quantity and quality, even the quality of your communications between the two of you. So if this person has been just an occasional, you know, texting back and forth, you're going to see an increase of that, but also an increase in quality. Like out of the blue will be a conversation of something that's of, you know, of meaning. And then there will be, or if in the case of people who haven't had any communication at all, perhaps all of a sudden out of the blue there's this communication that takes place, and it's like, you know, where did that come from? So there will be an increase in quality of that. Let's go ahead and see what else we have between the two. What's going on with that person? What's going on with this one? Oh. Between the two. Okay, so here, this is not surprising at all, because we have the accelerant, the fuel, and then we have the Knight of Wands. This is the passionate guy. He's the lover boy of the tarot deck. And then I also feel like this person here is beginning to see things in a new light. And what that is also coming, you know, coming face to face, some kind of mirroring, seeing in the other person, seeing that person in a new light, then brings about this shift in energy and like this desire for coming toward the union. So we have interesting here. I do feel like some of you could be dealing with a Leo or Sagittarius or Aries. We had the fire sign Knight come up, and now we have him here, and we have him moving on in some way, but moving toward the soulmate connection. So that's coming up between the two of you. So it does look like the movement's more on one side than the other. And then we have here the King of Swords, the Hermit, and the standing up. And the Hermit is being alone. So I kind of feel like we're seeing the masculine energy here coming into, for many of you, that's who it is. But if it's not, you know, it could be if the feminine too, doesn't matter, either one. But there's kind of like this awareness. The King of Swords has a lot of perception and really in a very mature way seeing things in a different way. And that seeing things in a different way coming about by going within and really seeking for answers to their truth within themselves, and then it helps them stand up for what they really want, resist the onslaught, you know, of whatever in their life, because this is about the circle, the people, the things happening that they hold dear. And yet there's been a you know, reductions, taking away. There's been something in it that has been eaten away, and they're standing up to that whole situation. And then, you know, we get the movement, the migration, the actual relocation is occurring here because someone's standing up in to their truth by, you know, they went in within themselves to discover what it is they really want in life, and they're standing up. So, well, I hope this message resonated with you guys. Again, reach out to me if you want to take advantage of the $33 reading for post-eclipse message, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.